Welcome everybody. We're going to start with the event program now. There will be more time for networking at the end, and I encourage you to stay after if you have availability to meet some of our award winners, some of our elected officials, staff, and other businesses in our community. My name is Zach Bowner, and I'm the Economic Development Coordinator for the town of Westborough. I'm so happy that we're able to bring this group together today to celebrate our business community. Before we begin, I would like to extend a thank you to the event sponsors, Atlantic Management, Avidia Bank, Caruth Capital, Christine McShane Creative, the Community Advocate Newspaper, Curry Printing, James N. Ball and Company, Kelleher and Sadowski, Middlesex Savings Bank, Penta Communications, Release Wellbeing Center, and our dear friends at Westborough TV. Thank you for making this great event possible. Now I'll hand it over to Todd Alexander, the chairman of the Westborough Economic Development Committee, to kick off the event. Thank you.
Thank you, Zach. On behalf of the Westborough Economic Development Committee, I'd like to welcome you to our 8th annual Year in Review Award celebration. My name is Todd Alexander. I'm the chairman of the Westborough EDC and an VP at local commercial real estate firm Kelleher and Sadowski. The Westborough EDC is composed of local business leaders and municipal staff that work together to help Westborough meet the growing needs of our business community with the goal of increasing the commercial tax base. We have nearly a full board seated to my right. And before we begin today, I'd like to take a moment to introduce each of the EDC members to you. Mark Zeff is Vice Chairperson and owner of Leduc Art and Antiques. Holly Kenny is Member at Large and owner of LCK Glassworks. David Bagden is a Member at Large and the publisher of the Community Advocate. Sandra Kearney is a Member at Large and owner of Human Power Solutions. Mark Verreau is a Member at Large and Chief Investment Officer at Caruth Capital. Scott Raley is a Member at Large and Plant Manager at Interplast. Sean Keogh is a Select Board's representative. Christy Williams is the Town Manager. And Fred Leonardo is the Community Development Director. I'd also like to take a moment to thank Zach for not only everything that he does here in our community in Westborough, but also for spearheading this event today. There's no way we could have gotten it done without you, so thank you very much, Zach. So each of these individuals volunteer their time to make Westborough a better place to do business. I couldn't be more thankful to work with such a fantastic group. If you have any feedback on how we can better serve Westborough's business community, if your business is planning an expansion in Westborough, or if you have a friend who might be interested in starting their own business, please don't hesitate to reach out to any of the folks up here today. For those of you who have never attended, the EDC has typically held this event every year to bring folks together to celebrate a handful of Westborough businesses for their outstanding economic contributions to our community. Our goal is to say a resounding thank you to our businesses for being the engine of our local economy and to create the opportunity for them to engage with some of our state, local, and regional partners. In order to set the tone for today's event, I'd like to share a marketing video that the EDC produced last year with our partners at Westborough TV. We hope that this video helps illustrate how special a place Westborough is to do business. Thank you to our partners at Westborough TV for putting this together with us. Specifically, thank you to Karen Henderson, Jeff Poole, Aiden Horrigan, and Keegan Uhlman for all the hard work you do, not just with this video, but the stuff that you guys produce is just amazing. You'll all see more examples of that today. We're very grateful to have you here in our community. I encourage you to share this video across your networks. I believe there should be a QR code in your video bag, QR code to the video in the gift bags that you received today. We are very privileged to have a room full of local business leaders and elected officials here to celebrate Westborough's recent achievements. We're very appreciative for all the work that elected officials do on behalf of this community. We're especially grateful to Secretary Yvonne Hao, who leads the Executive Office of Economic Development, and who has joined us today to deliver the keynote address. Thank you, Secretary Hao, for your commitment to our community and all the great work that you do in the administration. Westborough is also very fortunate to have a dedicated and active state delegation. We're grateful to have Senator Michael Moore, Representative Hannah Kane, and Representative Kate Donahue joining us today. Thank you all for your hard work in the legislature and your support today. Finally, I'd like to thank the Westborough Select Board for its leadership in making Westborough a great place to do business. We're fortunate to have several members of the Westborough Select Board here today, so I'd like to take a moment to thank Ian Johnson, Alan Edinburgh, and Sean Keogh for all the work that you do for this community. Before we begin our program, I'd also like to thank the many sponsors who have made this event possible. A special thank you one more time to Atlantic Management, Avidia Bank, Caruth Capital, Christine McShane Creative, Community Advocate Newspaper, Curry Printing, James L. Ball and Company, Kelleher and Sadowski, Middlesex Savings Bank, Penta Communications, Release Wellbeing, and Westborough TV. As you will hear repeatedly throughout the program today, it's a fantastic time to do business in Westborough. We're very fortunate to have great transportation assets, high quality of life, and leaders that are responsive to the needs of our economy. We're even more fortunate to be located in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, a state with an incredibly strong economy and a leadership team that works together to make things happen. Accordingly, I'm pleased to introduce you to a key leader in economic development across the state. Appointed by Governor Maura Healey earlier this year, Secretary Yvonne Hao leads the Executive Office of Economic Development. She brings over 25 years' experience as a private sector executive, including being a co-founder and managing director at the investment firm Cove Hill Partners, as Chief Operating Officer and Chief Financial Officer at PillPack, and as an operating partner at Bain Capital. She has also served on the board of directors for several companies, such as Car Gurus, ZipRecruiter, and Bose. We're very fortunate to have her in Governor Healey's cabinet, and even more fortunate to have her here with us today. Please join me in welcoming Secretary Yvonne Hao to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Todd, for that kind introduction. And I was so eager. I had jumped the gun. I was so excited to get up here. This is such a great way to start my Friday. I love driving out here, and Senator Moore was just asking me if it was a long ride, and it's not. It was like 40 minutes. It's so easy and beautiful. And after watching that video, I want to move to Westborough. Like, why are we not living here? I was just in Worcester yesterday, and they did not tell me that you're the #1 place for young people to live in Worcester. So I need to go back and remind them of that. But thank you so much, Todd. Thank you so much, Zach. Thanks to all of you for the important work you do in economic development for this region. And I feel so honored in so many ways, and in particular because we get to partner with such incredible legislators. So Senator Moore, Rep. Kane, Rep. Donahue, so excited that we all get to work together on economic development. So what I was mentioning to Zach today was that maybe what I would do, unfortunately I have to leave because we are hosting the Korean president at the State House, so I apologize I can't stay. What I would do is maybe give some short remarks and then open it up to questions. And I'd love to hear what's on your minds and get your feedback. And before I jump into that, the most important thing I want to say is to congratulate the winners of these awards. It is so awesome. I was reading up on all of these companies, the breadth of different types of companies, from battery recycling to ice cream here in Westborough. It just reflects the strength that we have here in our Massachusetts economy. And I am so impressed and so excited to have these businesses. So congratulations to all these award winners. I'm sorry I can't be here for the award announcements. I talk a lot in my job about Team Massachusetts, and I stole that from Peter Bear, and I'm using it a lot. But we are such a special state because we have such strong partnership with our municipalities, with our legislators, with our state government, but also all of our large businesses, our small businesses, our whole community. And I love seeing Team Westborough here. So you guys are all doing an amazing job. So just maybe a few things to get us started, and then I'd love to hear what's on your minds. So I've now been in the job for 3 months, a little over 3 months, and feel very honored and privileged to get this chance to serve our state. As you were talking about, we have a lot of great things in our state. We're very special in a lot of ways, and we've done very well for a long time. So I feel very confident and proud about that. Having said that, as I've been in the job and I've kind of started digging into the data, we have work to do. Things are not perfect, right? And so if you look at the data, there are some trends that are, concerning around people leaving our state, around the cost of housing, the lack of housing, transportation, we know we have issues. So I'm excited to tackle those issues and to make sure that we fix these issues so that we're strong not just now, but for many decades to come. And that's the work that we're just kicking off right now. So every 4 years, as our legislators know well, we're required by statute to do a state economic development plan. So we're kicking that off right now. We have a council, and then we actually are going to be doing regional sessions across the state. So I'm hoping to be back here in Westborough with many of you, I hope, to hear your ideas and input as we formulate this strategy for our state. We're also going to do sector-specific sessions, so looking at life sciences versus climate tech versus education versus hospitals versus small businesses versus rural businesses. And then we were going to come back before the end of the calendar year with a formal written plan that we deliver to the legislators and also to our governor. And on the back of that, we need to make sure we can actually make it come to life. So a nice PowerPoint would be great, but what really matters is bringing this to life. And so we're going to be collaborating cross-cabinet to make sure we put the actions and the resources and the metrics to bring this to life for our state. So that's the work we're doing. And in the meantime, as we're starting this planning process, I've done some realignment of my office. So as probably all of you know, we put forward an Article 87 on March 1st, which is the proposal to split housing off into its own separate cabinet. And no one is more excited about this than me because housing is so important. And I'm always amazed by my predecessors that they were able to juggle housing and economic development. We need someone now who can come in and wake up every day focused just on housing, and that frees me up to focus just on economic development. And so in our economic development team, we had an announcement come out last week, I think, that we want to realign our team against the segments of the economy. So there's really 3 key pillars in economic development. So the first pillar is really what I'm calling economic foundations, which is the foundations of the economy. And we're very lucky, Undersecretary Ashley Stolba, who many of you may know, she has been here under the previous administration, she's staying on. She will have in that economic foundations world all of the things that she's been doing before, such as Community One Stop, which I hope you all are applying for. The applications are open this year. We give away $200 million in all kinds of fundamental infrastructure projects. And that application is open until June 2nd. So if you haven't applied, I urge you to apply. She also will keep things like broadband and military and seaport, and then adding to her portfolio around foundations, we are for the first time dedicating a person that will wake up every day focused just on agricultural and rural economic development. Running a farm or a fishery is very different than running a life sciences company, and so we need someone focused just on that. So that role is open. I'd urge people to apply or send candidates our way. The other person that we're adding is a dedicated full-time person focused just on small and micro businesses, especially women-owned and minority-owned, because running a hair salon is really different, and running a restaurant is really different. And so figuring out how to, understand the unique needs and focuses of each segment. So that's economic foundations in Pillar 1. And actually MOBD will also move over there. That's kind of our regional business team. So that's Pillar 1 around foundations. Pillar 2 is around strategies. How do we grow on top of the foundation? And so here we've hired a new undersecretary, Sarah Stanton, and she actually comes from your world. She was the town manager in Bedford. She has spent time in the city of Cambridge and also worked with the lieutenant governor in Salem. She knows firsthand from being on the ground what it's like to do economic development in towns. So she's going to be leading economic strategies. She's now 1 week in, And under economic strategy, she'll have tourism. We have our 250th anniversary of the founding of the country coming up in the next couple of years, and our country was founded right here, so we want to make sure we kind of own that and make the most of it. She'll have international trade, such as hosting the President of Korea today, and then she'll also have new growth strategies, such as workforce skills, which is such an important priority for us across the team. And then also big federal opportunities, like things like chips and science. So that is that is pillar 2. So pillar 1, foundations, pillar 2, strategies. And then the third pillar is the Office of Consumer Affairs and Business Regulation. So that is the team that does all of the licensing of banks, insurance companies, but also plumbers, hairdressers, cosmetologists, massage therapists, electricians. And that group has been off on its own for a little while. We're going to pull that in and make it our third pillar, because as we think about growing the economy, we need to make sure it's easy to get licensed, and that if you want to get it, into a small business, you can get your certification very quickly. You still need to be safe and do all the right things, but we need to make it easier for businesses. So those are our 3 pillars, and then I'm very lucky our senior team is still staying on as well. So we're excited to do this work with all of you, and we need your help and feedback. As Team Massachusetts, we need Team Westborough as part of this. But why don't I pause there, and I'm happy to hear what's on your minds, and especially to get your ideas. One of the things I was talking about last night with the governor while we were waiting at the tarmac for the Korean president to arrive was, we have so many great things in Massachusetts. We're such a unique state, and we're starting to reach a strong place. We know we have issues, and we're wicked smart, right? So we're very good at admiring our issues and admiring the problem. We need to move from that to actually solving them. So what are the specific ideas and things that we can be doing now and as part of this economic development plan to make sure that we continue to lengthen our lead as a state? So I'll pause there. I'd love to hear what's on your minds, but so grateful to be here and so grateful for all the work you do. Yes.
Hi everyone. Hi neighbors. I'm Laylee from Rakks Architectural Shelving and Hardware. We're new on Route 9.
You're an award winner, right?
Yeah.
Yay! Woo!
And
Congratulations.
It's very important to us, and we're biased, but we're a 52-year-old manufacturing company. We've done our manufacturing in Massachusetts for all of those 52 years. And, in listening to your pillars, I'm very interested in the role of bringing back manufacturing, craftsmanship, the trades, and really emphasizing that more, which of course has an educational component, but also incentives because we tried to look for a building for years. We were going to rent a place in Needham, and a lot of them were being taken up by big box stores and other industries that have nothing to do with manufacturing, which I believe is a measure of health. In the community. So that, and also environmental questions about how are we setting up our businesses to contribute to the environmental health and energy efficiency of businesses in Massachusetts.
And remind me your name again?
Laylee Tofik.
Laylee. Okay, I love this question, and I fully agree. So one thing people maybe don't know as much about is I've grown up in manufacturing plants. So when I was a consultant, I did a lot of work with manufacturing companies, and then I was at Honeywell, where we had global manufacturing. So I've probably visited hundreds of manufacturing plants all over the world, and that is my happy place. I love seeing things getting made. It's very fun to understand, how do things get made. And also, manufacturing is really important because it creates all kinds of different jobs. It creates R&D jobs, engineering jobs, but also really good, high-paying jobs for folks who are out of high school and vocational school and community college. And so I think manufacturing is really important. As we think about our economic development plan, I think manufacturing plays a role in a couple of ways. One is that there is a once-in-a-generation opportunity right now with our federal government, where they've said, we want to bring manufacturing back to the U.S. It doesn't happen that often. And they've said, we're going to give $250 billion to states to help bring manufacturing back to the U.S. They're focused specifically on advanced manufacturing for semiconductors and technology. That plays to a lot of our strengths. We have a lot of that here in Massachusetts, and so we're playing hard to go and compete for those federal dollars and win our fair shares. We already have one proposal in that we submitted in February, and there's several open now that we're trying to win. The other types of manufacturing you're talking about is small kind of craftsmanship manufacturing. That's also really important, and I think we have a place for that here in our economy as well. And I'm hoping our small business person, and also a lot of the work we do in Mass Tech around manufacturing best practices, and also tourism plays a role. As we bring tourists here, how do we have more made in Massachusetts type stuff? So there's a lot of different places where manufacturing plays in our strategy, and I'd love to talk more about that. The second question you asked about climate, and this is really important. I spent a lot of time with Secretary Tepper in energy and also with Chief Hoffer, our first ever climate chief in the country for our state. And I think there's a lot of narrative out there that's just wrong. People kind of say, oh, well, you can do good things for the climate or you can have economic development. And that is absolutely not the case. Here in Massachusetts, we want to do things better. We want to lead and we want to do things the right way. So here in Massachusetts, I think we're going to do both. It's and both. How do we lead on the climate? And how do we also make sure that as we do that, we create lots of jobs and opportunities for companies? And so it's hard to do both, which means that we have to be more intentional and thoughtful. But just this week, we had a call on offshore wind, thinking about, gosh, we have this incredible resource with wind. As we try to bring on offshore wind as a clean energy source, how do we make sure there's all the jobs that go with it? All the architecture jobs and R&D jobs and project management jobs, but also all the manufacturing jobs and installation jobs. And so as each of these opportunities comes up, we're working very closely to figure out. Actually, yesterday I had a meeting about decarbonizing all of our residential buildings. That's going to require a whole generation of new types of electricians who have new skills around how to do green, electricity. So how do we, work with our Office of Consumer Affairs to adapt our certifications, and how do we do workforce skills to bring on a whole new generation of folks with different skills? So that's a really important thing. And I should mention, we're also working cross-cabinet. Workforce skills is a big issue. We have a changing economy on areas like climate and everything else, and we have a workforce shortage right now. I mean, every place I go, people are like, we can't hire enough people. And some of you may have seen, I have a soft spot in Western Massachusetts where I went to college. It's a college town, the pizza shop's not open because they can't hire enough workers. Like, what college town doesn't have a pizza shop? Like, it's crazy. And we have that in everywhere. So we have a workforce skills cabinet. That's the Secretary of Education, Patrick Tutwiler, Secretary of Labor, Lauren Jones, and myself. And then we brought in actually Kate Walsh from Health and Human Services because we have a huge shortage in our hospitals. And we've also brought in Secretary Tepper and Climate Chief Hoffer on energy. And so that cross-cabinet is working to say, what are all the programs we have in our state? Which ones are working? Which ones can we scale up? Which new programs do we not have that we need? And so this workforce skills cabinet is working very hard already, and we need to get a pipeline of talent for all these new growth areas. So I probably have time for maybe, I don't know, I don't have anyone with me, so usually I have someone hustling me. So it's just me, I'm responsible for myself today, so maybe like one or two more questions so I'm not late for President of Korea. Yeah, Senator Moore.
Any other questions first?
Oh, actually, we have a question right there. Yes, please.
Oh, go ahead, after you.
Oh, okay. Hello, thanks for being here, Secretary Hao. Amy Woodbury, I run an internship services company, and my question is actually on the housing front. So I love that you said no one's more excited than you because you're going to be able to delegate a lot of that piece. What do you see as a new secretary comes in to run that whole new department? What are 2 or 3 of the major focus areas for the new housing vision?
Yeah, it's a great question. So thank you for our legislators, first of all, for supporting the Article 87. And I think it's going to go through, and I know the governor and lieutenant governor are really excited to bring on a new cabinet member who will be dedicated to housing, and I'm excited to have a new colleague to partner with. On housing, so I'm not an expert on housing. I've been learning in the last couple of months while it's been reporting to me. We are the victims of our own success. So we've been growing as a state for many, many years. This housing situation we're in right now, which I would call a crisis, it didn't happen in the last 3 months or in the last 3 years. This happened over a long time. As we've grown over time and we've added people to our population and our economy's grown, we haven't kept up on housing. And so right now at this point, we've dug ourselves a hole. So the numbers are something like we're 200,000 units short, 200,000. In a good year, we might produce 15,000 units. I'm not a genius at math, but that's impossible. It's going to take us forever to catch up. It's not sustainable. And so we need to rethink how we do housing. And the issue we have in Massachusetts is that we're all awesome. We're all wicked smart. We all want housing. Everybody you ask says, oh, we want more housing. But I'm learning a lot. But Massachusetts is one of 3 states in the country that doesn't have counties. I think it's probably good for a lot of reasons that we don't have counties. We have 351 towns. So everyone in the state wants more housing. But when the vote comes to each of the 351 towns and there's a zoning board, it just takes like 2 people to say no. And so if you say no at 351 towns for more than a decade, then you have the situation we have now. And so this is going to require someone to come in and just think very differently about the system. It's going to require all of us to work together. This is a collective action problem. We need to all work together as a state to figure out what are the right things to do. So I think a couple of big priorities. One is just production. We just need more housing of every type. And I know already as part of forming the Article 87, we've done a lot of research and work around where do we have pockets of land? Where does the state own land? Where are there developers who are excited to build? What things are shovel ready? And we need every kind of housing. So we need affordable housing, we need mixed housing, we need housing by transportation, we need single family homes, we need every kind of housing. So production is going to be a big focus. And we already have gotten to start with the MBTA communities, and I think there's probably more to do. And then there's lots of other issues as well around housing, but production is probably the top priority. And I'm excited to get someone in here who has a lot of experience in this area and can help us think much more strategically and creatively, and who can also work across all of our communities in Team Massachusetts to help us figure out that problem. That makes sense, Amy. Great questions, Laylee and Amy. I love this. It's a great way to start my day. Do we have maybe one more question from Senator Moore? Maybe that'll be our last question.
So, thank you. Well, you already possibly give any time frame on the time of the CHIPS Act that they federally approved for the chip manufacturing, and the other, I don't know banking. Is there any concern going on with the banking industry right now with the economy?
Great questions. All right. So first question was around the CHIPS and Science Act. So this is $250 billion that the federal government is giving to states and companies to bring semiconductor technology and manufacturing back to the U.S. Semiconductors go into everything, and we invented them here in America, and we manufactured them here in America for a long time. But we didn't have an industrial policy for a long time. And so way back in the day when I was starting my career, I spent a lot of time in Asia working with Chinese companies and Korean companies and Taiwanese companies and Malaysian companies who all said, we're going to have an industrial policy in our own countries, and we're going to bring chip manufacturing to Asia. And they all did that. So we went from producing almost half of our semiconductors in the world produced in America to less than 10% right now. And what's happened over time is, one is everything now is semiconductors. And second of all, they control everything. They control our security, they control our defense, they control our phones, they control our computers. And so strategically, this is a very important area, and it's a big market. So this current presidential administration has said, we're going to bring that back. The way that the CHIPS and Science Act works is the $250 billion comes in all kinds of little chunks. And so as each chunk comes out, we're looking at the chunk to say, does Massachusetts have a right to win on that area? And if we do, how do we bring Team Massachusetts to kind of put all of the powers of Massachusetts to try to do our best to win that? So the first proposal that came out was called this Microelectronics Commons. And we were very lucky, we have a quasi called Mass Tech. They did incredible work pulling together a Northeast coalition of 85 research universities, big companies, startups, venture firms, nonprofits, all of our different ecosystem to go submit a proposal. So that we submitted at the end of February. The governor and I are going to be in DC next week talking to Secretary Raimundo and other folks in DC. We're probably going to hear about that proposal, I would say, this summer. So that chunk is already submitted. Now there's new chunks coming out. So some of them are around building these giant foundries. These are like massive, massive factories that employ thousands of people. They're $10 to $20 billion per factory. So there's a bid out right now from Commerce around that. We've looked at that, and I don't think that's for Massachusetts, honestly, because those giant foundries you need really cheap land, and a lot of it. You need really cheap energy, and a lot of it. You really need a lot of cheap labor that doesn't have to be that skilled, because these are commodity, high-volume chips. And you need a state that's going to bend over backwards and give everything away for free. That's not really our Massachusetts style. So for that set of proposals, we're probably not going to be that competitive. If you look at who's winning those proposals, it's Texas, it's Ohio, it's Arizona, there's one in New York that's been won. So if we don't bring anything special, we're not a huge state. Let's not try to win where we don't bring anything special. There's another tranche that's open right now that's around, it's kind of called, it's called Mature and Back-End Technologies. And this one I think we are actually very excited about. This is looking at existing companies that are here already and helping them expand. So we're very lucky in our state. We have a history, because especially of all of our research here, of having a bunch of semiconductor companies here already. So we're partnering with them now to try to apply for that. The other one that's coming out next month is the one that's on regional tech hubs. And basically the government has said, we want to create more Cambridges and more Bostons. We're gonna go make the case, and I've talked to people in DC and they said, oh, we're not gonna give money to Massachusetts, you're good, you have Boston and Cambridge. We're gonna go make the case to say, yes, we have Boston and Cambridge. We have a whole rest of the state. We need to get federal funds to help the rest of our state. And so we're gonna probably compete on the regional tech hub one, and we might need help from Worcester, because that could be a really competitive bid for that. So these are all coming out over time. This window is going to close. So who knows what's going to happen in the presidential elections. This money is all going to be given away in the next like 12 to 18 months. So we got to hustle. So we are Team Massachusetts on every opportunity. And also we were very lucky. The governor hired Quentin Palfrey to join our administration. He was working in DC in commerce. So he knows firsthand what it's going to take to win, and he's now part of our team. So that's the answer to the first one. And then the second one was about banking. It has been a very exciting couple of months. You know, when I was thinking about taking this job, my whole career has been in business. So I asked people who've been in state government to say, should I take this job, economic development? And they said, oh yeah, it's great. It's like you go to a bunch of ribbon cuttings, like you work on plans, you go to some dinners, you can give out some awards. You know, other cabinets have crises and it's crazy, but you're good. And then I took this job, and then we had a bank failure. So I didn't sleep for four or 5 days, but we didn't waste the crisis, and we pulled together as Team Massachusetts, and really, it was incredible to see the power of everyone coming together to say, how are we going to help each other navigate this? The good news is the FDIC came in, and they kind of really saved the day. I would say in the short term, we're in a good spot, and we're especially in a good spot because we have very strong regional banks. We are very lucky again. Many states don't. We have such a large group of very important regional banks. If you walk down your Main Street, you see a bunch of them. And they know the communities, and they do lending for all kinds of businesses, and they're very committed to Massachusetts. So that, I think, feels very good, and we have a lot of gratitude for that. The biggest challenge, I think, for us on banking is going to be Silicon Valley banking was very unique. They took a lot of risks. They banked my startup, PillPack, and we were a very high-risk startup, growing 300%, but losing a lot of money. And they were able to take risks and bank in a different way to support the innovation economy. So one of the questions we're discussing with our regional banks and others is, how do we make sure that as we move forward, we fill that gap and continue to fund riskier startups, because that's so important to our economy in life sciences and in tech and everywhere else. And so that's the conversation we're having, but that's probably a middle to long-term thing. And then the other thing is, right now in the news a lot is First Republic Bank. It's hard to know. I think, you know, the federal government is watching all of these things, and we are monitoring, but actually right now it feels like we're in a decent spot, if that makes sense. But we are monitoring all the time. So maybe with that, I'll wrap up, because otherwise my team will yell at me. But it's so great to be with you all here today. I'm sorry I can't be here for the awards, but huge congratulations to all the award winners, and really excited to see you all again as part of our economic development planning conversations. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Secretary Hao. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come and making yourself available, informing us about the administration's plans for economic development and hearing from our community. So thank you. We're happy to have you. Before we transition to the awards presentation, I would like to thank Westborough TV for collaborating again with us this year to create some incredible videos for each of our award winners. Special thanks especially to Karen Henderson, Keegan Andelman, Jeff Poole, and Aiden Horgan, who all teamed up together to create these truly wonderful videos. Without further interruption, let's get started with the New Development Project Award, which recognizes a business or developer for the most impactful new construction or redevelopment project in the town of Westborough.
I'm Layli Tawfiq, and my family owns Rakks Architectural Shelving and Hardware, and I'm the CEO. Rakks Shelving was started by my parents to address a problem, which is that shelving and storage is either pretty or it is functional but ugly. And so my father wanted to knit those two together to have something that is functional and beautiful at the same time, and that's in support of your living environment and your working environment. My father came to this country as a teenager to go to Tufts University. He came from Iran, and he studied to be a mechanical engineer. He started the business in our basement. When we outgrew the operation in our family's home, he bought a building in Waltham for a song. Then he moved to a large factory in Millis, Massachusetts, which we outgrew after about a decade. And he moved to Needham. Unfortunately, he was renting in Needham, and he preferred not to do that. So after we outgrew Needham, we started looking for many years. So we looked, and we had a number of false starts. But then we came across a beautiful building on Route 9 in Westborough. It was the former R.G. Shakur factory and showrooms. And it was the building for us for a number of reasons. It's right near 495, it's right near the Mass Pike. Route 9 is lively. It's full of activity, it's full of development, it's full of people going back and forth. We learned that there's maybe something like 1 million cars that pass that building every month, and that was extremely attractive on its own. But then the building itself, which had been empty for some time, as Mr. Shakur wanted to sell it, we wanted to make that building into an environmentally friendly, energy efficient space that will last for many decades to come and make it to suit our needs, which we could do because of the state that it was in. We really had a lot of leeway there. Also, it's on a lot of beautiful wetlands next to the Assabet River. That was a very attractive quality. And a lot of our neighbors around are businesses that we need to do our work. There's Lowe's, there's machine shops, there's printers, there are restaurants that our staff is so excited to try out. So because our product line is all made in Westborough, in our factory, so part of that is we have the room to do that now. We have the ability to do it in a much more energy efficient way than we've ever done it before because our building is powered by solar. We have finished our renovation of the building. We took it down to the studs and upgraded all the electrical and all the plumbing and everything so that it'll last for a long time. But we've been functioning as a factory since 2021, but our office staff, they've been mostly working from home. So we have some more things to do with furnishing the front of the house and the showroom that we're creating, as well as our signage that's going up. So pretty soon, we hope to have a ribbon cutting where we invite our new community to celebrate with us. And there's more to come. This is only in 19 months since we've been in Westborough.
Founded in 1971, Rakks Architectural Hardware in Shelving is a business with roots in entrepreneurship and family. Since purchasing the property in 2021, Rakks has completely transformed the 34,500 square foot building into a state-of-the-art, lean manufacturing and distribution center with showroom, office, and design space all under one roof. The improvements to the site are truly unbelievable. Still family-owned and operated, the business continues to value sustainability as evidenced by its choice to incorporate many energy-saving systems into the renovated building, including a brand new solar array that provides power to most of the building. Furthermore, Rakks helped bring an iconic property back on the tax rolls, as this site had been vacant since R.G. Shakur Beauty Supply closed its doors in 2017. Rakks has truly breathed new life into this building, adding new jobs and property value to our local economy. Most important, we are happy to see a family-owned and operated business that values sustainability join the Westborough business community. For these reasons, the Westborough EDC is pleased to present the new Development Project Award to Rakks Architectural Hardware in Shelving.
I want to thank the EDC and the town of Westborough so much. We feel privileged to have landed here. I don't know all the mysterious and material forces that led us here, but It is exactly the right place, and we wouldn't have been able to do it without Fred Leonardo, building inspector, and much more, who really was so responsive to us as we completed a 6-month phase 1 construction project in the middle of a global pandemic. He really enabled us to finish on time before our lease ran out in our previous location, and to get up and running without a hiccup, and we'll forever be grateful to him. And also to Zach Bauner, who has been a champion and a cheerleader and an encourager in what was actually a really challenging process. It made us feel welcomed, it made us feel included, and it affirmed the idea that we have landed exactly where we're meant to be and where we hope to be for a long time to come. So we really couldn't be more thrilled to be part of the Westborough community, and we're looking forward to meeting more of our colleagues and our friends and vendors and officials in the town so that we can be even more deeply embedded in this community.
Congratulations to Rakks, Laylee, your family, your amazing team. We are just as appreciative to have your business in this community. And so I would like to invite you up here for Todd to present you your award, and our delegation to present you citations for the amazing redevelopment project that you guys have spun together on Turnpike Road. So thank you and congratulations again to Rakks. Awesome. Congratulations again. And official welcome to our community. Next up is the new Small Business Award, which recognizes a new and exciting locally owned business in our community.
I'm Noreen Vigneault.
And I'm Ray Vigneault, and we own PLAYNOW Toy and Games. PLAYNOW is a toy and game store with something for everybody. From board games and puzzles, to dolls, to infant toys, cars, trucks, science, educational items, we have something for everyone.
We opened our first PLAYNOW store in the spring of 2020, and our second store in Ludlow, Mass. In the fall of 2020. Even though it was during the pandemic, we were still successful.
And then in October of 2022, we chose Westborough, Mass. To be our newest location. We're located in the Westborough Shopping Center off Lyman Street, right between Stop and Shop and Staples. We chose Westborough because it was a family community, and we feel like part of the family when our neighbors come in and they smile and the children run around the store. We really appreciate the welcome, and we love our customers. We really felt welcome coming into the town of Westborough. The town hall, everyone was great through the process. We couldn't be happier than being in Westborough.
Some of the products that we have are Barbie, Lego, Brooder, Douglas plush toys, my favorite. We have arts and crafts, science projects, Breyer horses, the collectibles, Gravitrax, infant toys of all types, Fisher-Price, Mattel, Hot Wheels. There are so many things that kids will love.
So many of our customers come in for a game for family fun night. Saturdays on birthday parties, we have people stopping in for a last minute gift. We want to make sure we have what they want when they want it.
Established in 2020, PLAYNOW is a family-owned neighborhood toy store that recently opened in Westborough Shopping Center. We are pleased to recognize this business, not only for transforming an empty, deep storefront into a beautiful space that makes you feel like a kid again, but also for the special story in entrepreneurship and resilience. Having done their research and visited several times, they knew that the friendly neighborhoods, great location, and our community's special emphasis on family made Westborough Shopping Center a perfect spot for a new location. For this reason, the Westborough EDC is pleased to present the new Small Business Award to PLAYNOW. Congratulations, Ray and Noreen.
We were surprised and honored to get this award from the EDC.
We want to thank the EDC and the town of Westborough for this award. We really appreciate it.
Congratulations to PLAYNOW and Ray and Noreen. Ray, we have you here today. Please come up to receive your award from Mark Zeff and your citations from our legislators. Congratulations again, Ray. And next we have our new Downtown Business Award, which is a new award that the EDC is issuing this year and recognizes a new and exciting business in our downtown area. This year, the winner for this award was selected based on the results of a community poll. The community poll received a lot of responses, and while it was close, the winner for this award truly ran away with the award. So.
My name is Liana.
My name is Claire. We are the owner of Cha-Cha and Beans. We are located at 25 West Main Street, right in downtown Westborough. Cha-Cha and Beans is an Asian tea house. We sell good variety of tea. We have our specialty coffee. We also sell a lot of Asian products. Most importantly, we sell Asian bubble tea from Taiwan. We've been planning this for years, and it is really hard for us to find a good location, but we live here. We want to open something here, right in Westborough. So we are lucky to find a good location for our business to start. We want to open a store. It's more like something different here. Because we have coffee here, we have a restaurant here, but we don't have Asian tea house here. We don't have bubble tea here. And we really want to create a space that people can stay, they can enjoy.
So when you come to our store, we have variety of drinks to offer and also some snacks.
Yeah, we have some fruity drink, we have fruity yogurt, we have milk tea, we have coffee, we have a good variety of hot tea. Also, we plan to have the egg waffle soon, and we're gonna put egg waffle ice cream out.
Our vision is to see the community come and to have gathering in our store, and where the students or some people are gonna have meeting, or like they have friends and share their times in our store. It's great to have that sense of the community support us too here.
Since opening at 25 West Main Street last year, Cha-Cha and Beans has helped breathe new life into our downtown. Founded by Westborough residents Claire and Liana, who have been planning this concept for over 4 years, Cha-Cha and Beans is an Asian tea house that also offers its own specialty coffee, Asian snacks, and a signature menu of authentic Taiwanese bubble teas. In addition to its welcoming atmosphere and beautiful decor, the storefront features a community room where the business has already hosted several cultural events, classes, and hands-on activities. For this award, we asked the public for help in selecting a recipient, and although several other nominees received hundreds of votes, Cha-Cha and Beans emerged with the most public support. One community member shared that the business finally gives them a reason to walk downtown. Another shared how Cha-Cha and Beans provided a safe space for their 6th grader to have their first downtown independent hangout with a friend. We echo all this sentiment, and for these reasons, the Westborough EDC is pleased to present the new Downtown Business Award to Cha-Cha and Beans.
It is an honor for us to have received the Best New Downtown Business Award from the Westborough EDC. We really appreciate the time, the effort that committee has put into supporting local business like ours. We couldn't have made it without their support and without the community support voting for us.
Congratulations, Claire, Liana, and your family, the whole Cha-Cha and Beans team. We're so lucky to have you in our downtown, and I invite you up with Holly and our legislators to receive your award and citations. Congratulations again to Cha-Cha. Next, we have our Innovation Award, which recognizes the business that is pioneering the future of their industry right here in Westborough.
I'm Roger Lin. I'm Vice President of Marketing and Government Relations at Ascend Elements. Ascend Elements is a sustainable lithium-ion battery material manufacturer. Ascend Elements was founded in 2015. It was spun on WPI. It was founded by professors Yan Wang, Eric Rakks, and Duran Apelian. And they saw the importance of recycling lithium-ion batteries well before it became important to everybody else in the industry. And we're in the middle of scaling up that technology now. Yeah, so we have 2 different locations here in Westborough. One is here at 133 Flanders Road. There's another one across the street at 134 Flanders Road. At 133, we have most of our technical facilities, our laboratories. We do all of our research and development and pilot manufacturing. We employ, I think, probably 80 or 90 people across both sites and throughout Massachusetts. And we do have other sites in other states. Yeah, we hire mostly scientists, engineers, and technicians here at our R&D Technical Center. They focus on different chemical methods to separate and extract critical elements from lithium-ion batteries and then resynthesize them into new battery materials. Last year, Ascend Elements raised in a Series C round of funding $300 million to fund future expansion and growth. We also recently celebrated the grand opening of our Base 1 facility in Covington, Georgia. It's just outside Atlanta, where we will recycle up to 30,000 tons of lithium-ion batteries per year. And we're in the middle of constructing our Apex 1 facility in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, where we'll transform those recycled batteries into new battery materials. So in Westborough, we take the battery materials and we turn them into new cathode active materials, which is the most expensive, most valuable material in a lithium-ion battery. And it makes the cathode active material more sustainable. It's a lower carbon footprint, uses less energy, and also more economic to use. Yeah, so Westborough has been a good location for us. It's very centrally located, close to some major highways. There's actually a few other battery companies in the area, and we have access to major universities for technical talent that we need to help us grow our operations.
Groundbreaking, innovative companies like Ascend Elements are an engine for economic growth. We are very lucky that this business has a significant presence in our community. The business opened its Westborough site at 133 Flanders Road in 2021, and it now serves as company headquarters. This business is special because it's revolutionizing the production of lithium-ion battery materials by establishing a clean and sustainable supply chain using recycled feedstock, including in those that power electric vehicles. Namely, to deliver engineering materials at a lower cost. Ascend Elements technology greatly improves the cost-effectiveness of batteries recycling, which is the best way to encourage battery recycling as the EV market grows. In this way, the business is helping to lead us towards more sustainable stewardship of our natural resources and supply chains, enabling the free market to pursue carbon-neutral goals. This business has developed a groundbreaking, innovative technology that has spurred tremendous economic growth over a short period of time and will help ensure the transition to a more sustainable economy. For these reasons, we are pleased to present this year's Innovation Awards to Ascend Elements. Congratulations.
On behalf of Ascend Elements, I'd like to thank the Westborough EDC for the Innovation Award. We're honored to be the recipients of this award this year.
Congratulations to Ascend Elements. Andrew, the CFO, is here to accept the award today. Please join us and to receive your award and your citations from the legislature. Thank you. Congratulations again to Ascend Elements. Next up is the Civic Pride Award, which recognizes a business or organization that has cultivated a reputation as a strong community partner and friend. Like the new Downtown Business Award, this year the EDC asked the public to choose this award winner from a slate of nominees.
I'm Kelly Petralia, Executive Director of Westborough Connects.
And I'm Kate Storm, Chair of the Board of Directors for Westborough Connects. Westborough Connects is a small, private, nonprofit, grassroots organization here in Westborough. We have a hyper-local focus to bring community here and to make sure that everyone feels like they belong.
We began as a small and determined group of residents under the guidance of Spark Kindness and Natick. And as a mission-driven organization, we host a lot of events and initiatives that are geared around our 4 pillars of focus. And those are connection, kindness, resilience, and inclusion. At several of our annual larger events like Kindness Week and Westborough Unplugs, we routinely draw between 100 to 300 or more people who want to come together around the topic at hand for our programs. We also have smaller format programs and events that are really designed to bring people closer to each other.
And so those types of programs like Westborough Unplugs and Kindness Week are initiatives that we've initiated ourselves. But we also have Martin Luther King Day, the community celebration, as well as Westborough for Life, Stay, Connect, Thrive, that are partnership-based collaborative efforts for the entire community. So looking ahead, we are going to be looking about some programming to encourage civil discourse and thinking about challenging conversations, brave conversations that allow us to connect across those differences that we might have, and thinking about how to build a more resilient and connected, thriving community through those dialogues.
With all the turmoil in our world today, connection is something we could all use a little more of. Founded in 2017, Westborough Connects is a nonprofit organization that's focused on building Westborough into a more connected community. This organization exudes the spirit of the Civic Pride Award in everything it does. This year, we asked for the public's help selecting a recipient for the Civic Pride Award, and although several other nominees received a lot of support, Westborough Connects won the vote by a substantial margin, evidence of its deep impact on our town. The comments received during the voting spoke volumes. One community member noted how the organization helped connect the Westborough Senior Center to a local business when it was seeking donations for holiday gifts for seniors. Another celebrated Kindness Week as one of the best weeks of the year. All throughout the year, Kelly and her team work with tremendous focus and purpose to bring residents together to form new relationships that will only expand through our community. The end result is not only happier individuals, but a healthier community overall. We are extremely fortunate to have an inclusive program like this in our town, which is why Westborough Connects is the recipient of this year's Civic Pride Award.
Thank you so much to the EDC for this amazing Civic Pride Award. We are truly honored to have received this award. It's amazing that the EDC even does this and brings businesses and nonprofits together to celebrate the thriving business community that we have here in Westborough. So we really appreciate this award, and we also want to thank everybody who voted for Westborough Connects. Everybody who participated in that vote really made us feel very proud. So we're very honored. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Westborough Connects. Kelly, Kate, and your team, please join Dave and our legislators here to receive your awards and citations. And thank you for all the work that you all do in the community. Congratulations again to Westborough Connects. Certainly. Kelly, you want to tell us a little bit about what's going on?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Starting on Sunday is our fourth annual Westborough Unplugged. It's really an opportunity to take a break from our screens and when we are able to. Of course, we all need them, but to really look around and value the resources and the relationships that we have that really can't be possible just inside a screen. So, I encourage you to look at our website, or if you're not on our mailing list, join our mailing list, and there is a lot going on thanks to our partners, and so we encourage that. And then next Sunday, we're having the Spring into Wellness Fair, which focuses on getting resources into people's hands for mental wellness. So really, really important. I encourage you to come. That's at Mill Pond School next Sunday. So thanks a lot.
And thank you again to Westborough Connects for all the great work that they do in our community. Last, but certainly not least, is the Hall of Fame Award, which aims to celebrate a long-standing Westborough business for the indelible mark that they have left on our local economy. Like the new Downtown Business and Civic Pride Awards, the EDC asked the public to choose the award winner for this award from a slate of nominees.
I'm Kelly Marston. I am the co-owner of Uhlman's Ice Cream with my stepfather, Richard Smith. Uhlman's is a family-run business here in Westborough. We pride ourselves on cleanliness, allergy-friendly, and just having a lot of fun at the shop. Uhlman's Ice Cream has been here in Westborough since the late 60s, around 1967, 69. My stepfather, Richard Smith, actually built this building with Howard Uhlman. My grandfather, George, had 12 stores throughout the Worcester County called Smithfield Ice Cream, and that's how he became good friends with Howard Uhlman. We got all of our dairy from Howard's farm, and they built this building for Rita as a vegetable stand. A few years in, she decided she did not like people and she liked cows. So my grandfather, George, took it over as an ice cream shop and added it to the list of Smithfield ice cream shops. But being on the Uhlman's farm, we kept the Uhlman's name. Fast forward to today, it is the only one left, and it is still Uhlman's Ice Cream. So we've been here for a while. We employ a ton of local kids. We actually have local families. I have mothers, I have daughters, I have sisters, we have twins. We have about 85 employees here. It's a fun place to work. So as for investments, it's not just financial investments, but you have your community investments. You have to give back to the community that gives so much to you. So every year we donate up to about $10,000. We have auction packs, we host Jimmy Fun events here, we do project graduation. Any way that we can give back to the community helps us in the long run. We now have bees on site because we feel like it's important, you know, to give back environmentally. So yeah, I would say that would be our investments and our improvements. We have vegan ice cream now, which back in the day, who heard of vegan ice cream? And we have such a large community here in Westborough that's becoming really diverse. We found it's important to diversify our offerings as well. So we offer fun things like Faluda that has rose syrup in it, and some of our Indian families love Faluda. It's like a taste of home. Just some fun stuff like that.
Uhlman's Ice Cream, located at 232 East Main Street, has brought Westborough and our surrounding communities so much joy over the years. It feels great to celebrate them today. Today, they serve soft serve ice cream, fat-free soft yogurt, hard yogurt, and over 70 different flavors of hard ice cream. The business continues to innovate, introducing an ice cream truck that hit the streets in 2017, and recently, they offer vegan and dairy-free options. Most importantly, Uhlman's Ice Cream is revered by the community. This year, we asked the public to help us select a recipient for the award, and their feedback spoke volumes. Everyone goes to Uhlman's for ice cream, and this helps bring diverse cultures together from all over, one community member shared. Another echoed a similar sentiment. When we moved here, everyone we met told us we had to go to Uhlman's. Longtime residents might agree that Uhlman's has been around my entire life, and it's always had the best ice cream. For me, the quote that resonated most was, "Ice cream? Need I say more?" Long overdue, the Westborough EDC is pleased to present the Hall of Fame Award to Uhlman's Ice Cream.
I just want to say thank you to EDC for giving us the Hall of Fame Award. It makes me feel really good to know that the community that I appreciate so much in turn appreciates us. You know, being here for this long and just seeing families grow up here, it feels good to know that people like us. Thank you.
Congratulations to Uhlman's Ice Cream. Kelly and your team, please join Sandy and our legislators to receive your award and citation. We're so happy to celebrate you today. Congratulations again to the Uhlman's team and to all of the amazing businesses that were recognized here today. I echo Secretary Howe's sentiment that working in economic development is really fun, especially when you're able to work in a state like Massachusetts or in a town like Westborough, where we have so many great businesses doing so many great things every day, and that want to get involved in our community and that are eager to grow and expand and partner with the town. So I feel very lucky to work in a community where we have businesses like these. And I hope that this event today gives everyone a little bit of a flavor of what's going on in Westborough. I will transition to tell you a little bit about the Economic Development Committee and what the EDC has been doing over the past year and kind of what we are planning to do in the year going forward. So in 2022, a major focus for the Economic Development Committee was implementing several of our local Rapid Recovery Plan projects, LRRP. This was a downtown planning study that we did in 2021, coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic, to identify some tactical projects that the town could lead to support economic recovery in our downtowns. In January 2022, the EDC, with support from our friends at the 495 Metro West Partnership, won a $25,000 grant award to implement an online business directory exclusively for Westborough businesses. This was a project recommended by our local Rapid Recovery Plan, and by August of 2022, we were able to launch an awesome online business directory, the Shop Westborough portal, to which I believe there is a flyer in your gift bag. And I encourage you all to check it out. We have almost 200 retail, sales, and service businesses all located in Westborough listed on that directory, and we are continuing to promote, share, and market that tool as a resource for folks like many of us who want to shop local in our community but might not know all of the amazing options that are out there to help us do that. So we're really proud of that project. Additionally, we launched our first Shop Westborough Holiday Passport program in December of 2022. This was another LRRP project and is actually a derivative of some great work that was already happening by several local businesses downtown. And actually, I see two of them right here. So thank you to Holly and to Lindsay Taylor Spatik for leading that and then working with the EDC to help scale it and make it accessible to other businesses in town. We thought it was a really successful and fun cross-marketing initiative that helped folks in Westborough discover Westborough businesses that they may not have known were there, that may have opened in the past 2 years while we've been inside due to COVID-19. So we're really excited about that as well. In the past year, we've also refreshed a lot of our marketing materials, including the brochure that's in your gift bag, as well as the gift bag itself and our brand new banners. So we spent a lot of time on updating our marketing materials so we can try and have a better presence at putting Westborough forward as a best place to do business and as a great place to come and relocate. Additionally, the EDC has advanced several policy initiatives in the past year. In May of 2022, the Select Board adopted the EDC's proposed outdoor customer area policy, which regulates outdoor dining and merchandising in right-of-ways in our downtown area. In the COVID-19 pandemic, as many of you know, we saw a rise in appetite from businesses to provide services or to do dining outdoors. The EDC, based on a recommendation from our local Rapid Recovery Plan, helped create an outdoor customer area policy for our downtown area that we hope will continue to promote vibrancy, walkability downtown. So we're really excited about that and working through our first season of applications right now. In a similar vein, the EDC and with an eye towards sustainability, recommended that the Select Board adopt the Property Assessed Clean Energy Program, which is a mass development program. I see our partners from mass development here today. We're happy to have you. We're really excited about this program because it's an innovative financing technique to enable large-scale clean energy systems in buildings. And now I believe it's actually allowed for new construction. So when we opted in, it was just for renovation, but now that program is also available to folks who are building new buildings from scratch. And we're really excited. We continue to market that in our ambassador meetings and in our meetings with developers. And we hope to have our first PACE project pretty soon. Additionally, the EDC has done a lot of work on its grant program, the Business Assistance Grant Program. Across the entire calendar year of 2022, the EDC received 28 applications to this program, totaling $148,995 in requested grant funds. The EDC issued 22 awards, totaling $45,674 in grant funds, with an average award of approximately $2,000. These awards, the types of projects that they fund vary. We've seen businesses apply for seating for customers, for additional merchandising equipment, for a new floral cooler, for equipment or signage when they're starting their business and getting fit out. And we believe that this program has really helped welcome new businesses to town, provide resources to businesses that are getting started, especially when the cost of opening balloons beyond what initial projections were, and also has helped several businesses locally do tactical growth or expansion projects to help make their storefronts more inviting, more accessible, and more attractive to customers. So we're really proud of that program. The town meeting in October voted actually to increase the funding for that program by 50% from $40,000 annually to $60,000 annually. And we're actually reviewing 6 grant applications at the EDC's meeting next Tuesday. So if you know any businesses that are thinking about getting a new sign or doing any kind of growth or expansion project but might not have all the money to do it, please send them my way, have them contact me or have them contact any of the great individuals up here, and we can help them get into that program and potentially get some funding for those growth or expansion projects. In a similar vein, the EDC is also, we continue to iterate on our grant program. And so last year, for the first time, we introduced a scoring rubric to increase transparency in the application process. We're actually taking a look again at the scoring rubric at our meeting next week, so it's a living process. And we continue to try and innovate and expand that program so that it meets the needs of businesses and creates a clear, easy, and transparent process. And lastly, we have also been active in the Massachusetts Vacant Storefronts Program, which is a program run by Secretary Howe's Executive Office of Economic Development. Since I've been in Westborough, we've used this tax credit program twice. The way the program works is that it's a tax credit for businesses that open in properties that have been vacant for a certain period of time. And those properties have to be in the town's designated district as well. So this year, in November of 2022, we had our second Massachusetts Vacant Storefront project approved for Wayback Burgers, which is a restaurant business, something that I know that the community wants to see more of in our downtown, that is planning to open in Bay State Commons sometime this summer. The other project in 2021 that we had approved was the Coop. So we've been really trying to use this program to tactically fill vacancies with the types of active uses that we know that our community wants to see from our master plan and from the conversations that we've had with all of you individually or together. A little bit on the year ahead. So we are in the midst of working on our Project Pop-Up, which is another partnership with the 495 Metro West Partnership and our consultants from Up Next, who I believe are also here today, and Jin Huang, who is the owner of 57 East Main Street. We will be activating a storefront for 3 months in Jin's building with a pop-up business for that period, with the hope that it helps increase vibrancy, walkability downtown, also fills a vacancy with the hope that that business will commit to a long-term tenancy either in that location or in an adjacent space, and also will help entrepreneurship by creating opportunities for local entrepreneurs to test retail and brick and mortar, a little bit in a little bit more secure environment. So we're really excited about that, and we expect to launch that pop-up in the next couple of weeks. Additionally, another LRRP project that we're working on right now is with our partners at the Collins Center from the University of Massachusetts, Boston. Together, we are doing a study of underrepresented businesses in our community, their unique needs, challenges, and what the town and the EDC in particular can do to better engage those businesses and meet their needs or better serve them. So we're in the midst of our interview process right now. So some of you may hear from Karen and her team or from me about doing an interview with them as we kind of build our perspective on the topic. But we're really excited about that. I think it's really important work. As some of you may know, underrepresented business communities were hit hardest by the COVID-19 pandemic. And so we are hoping that this work will help create very tactical project ideas that the town can take to help support those businesses at a time where they've been hit very hard. And then lastly, in the next couple of months, the EDC is planning to launch a working capital grant program, which is a little bit different than our existing program because it would be, or eligible uses of funds would include payroll, rent, and other operating expenses. That project will be a one-time opportunity that we are putting together with American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA funds. And so we expect to be doing that soon as well. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of great businesses that have been opening, as you've seen today. There are more to come, and I'm so happy, and I know that the EDC is incredibly happy to play a small part in that. But truly, it is a privilege to work in a town where we have so many great entrepreneurs, businesses, community members who work together to make this place and to position this place as a great place to do business and to live and to work and to play. And so I will leave it at that, and I thank you all for attending.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to take a moment to thank all of you for making time in your busy schedules to come out to us, see us this morning. And a special thank you to our elected officials who came here today as well. I think it's very important we take time each year to celebrate the successes of our businesses, especially as we continue to recover from the challenges of COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you for helping us celebrate the achievements and resilience of our local economy. Before we wrap up the program this morning, I would like to send another thank you to our partners at Westborough TV. Karen, Jeff, Aiden, and Keegan have invested so much time supporting this event, and the videos they produce, and they say more about the businesses than we can put on any citation or award that we put out here for them. So thank you very much for everything you do today, and for our local businesses. Thank you very much. Finally, this event would not be possible without our generous sponsors. Thank you again to Atlantic Management, Avidia Bank, Caruth Capital, Christine McShane Creative, Community Advocate Newspaper, Curry Printing, James N. Ball and Company, Keller and Sadowski, Middlesex Savings Bank, PentNet Communication, Release Wellbeing, and Westborough TV. This concludes our program for this morning, but you may have noticed we reserved this room for an additional time to allow you for some unstructured networking among yourselves. So we welcome you and encourage you to stay, grab a coffee or a bagel, and make connections with other folks in the room. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us this morning. Congratulations to all the award recipients, and have a great rest of your day.